Bonjour to all my students. This is your second video tutorial in my Gear Up Office course. In this video tutorial, I will demonstrate different text style types. Do not panic if you saw me using tools or commands that I didn't explain before, simply because I will discuss this in the next tutorial. I want you to focus on the types of texts. This video tutorial in particular will differentiate between a beginner level user of Office and a professional level. So, what do I mean by different types of text styles? If we go to our styles group and click on the drop down arrow, we will see different type of text styles like title or subtitle or heading 1, heading 2, normal. We will go through that all through this tutorial. So we will start by typing our first title, which would be Gear Up Office course. And we want every word in our title to have an initial capital letter. So we will mark up the title, go to Fonts group and choose Change Case command. Inside Change Case command there is a capitalize each word command. We will click on it, and as you can see, every word has an initial capital letter in our title. I want the U in Gear Up to be in uppercase, so I will mark it up and go to Change Case command and choose the uppercase command. And as you can see, the command has been done. So now I will write my subtitle. I want it to be Dr. Nozmi. To mark up two different areas, you press on Control on your keyboard and you mark up the two different areas of your choice. Then I want these two different areas to have an uppercase. So our D and N is now in the uppercase. Next I want to make the title format has the highest importance inside the document. So I will increase the font. Let's say, no, I want it on the same line, so I will go for this font. And also the subtitle should have the second highest importance inside the document, so I will make it, it has to be smaller font than the title. I think that's okay. I do want to align the subtitle to the right, or the center, or I will just keep it in the left. Okay, I think the right is more decent. You don't have to know any command of these. I will discuss this later in details. So, the next thing that I would like to do is to write a paragraph under this title and subtitle. I will set my marker under the subtitle and insert a new page. The page appeared under the subtitle. So if I place the marker before the title and inserted a new page, the new page will appear before the title. What if I set my marker between the title and the subtitle? As you can see, it inserted a new page between the subtitle and title. So we will undo this split. Next we do want to add to this next page paragraphs to see our document, just a sample of paragraphs to see our document. So we have a cool thing called lorem ipsum. A lorem ipsum is just a generator for paragraphs that doesn't have any meaning, just to see your document when we add paragraphs. So we choose paragraph button and we will choose the number of paragraphs that we need and generate lorem ipsum. We will click on generate lorem ipsum, and now we have a long text with 20 paragraphs. We will mark up it all, then copy mark it below, then copy, and then we're going to paste it with three options, keeping the source format, apply our document styles on it, and paste it with no styles at all. I want you to take a good look on how the document looks like now. We want to create a heading for this section inside the document. It would be our first heading. So I will set my marker next to the sentence and stroke enter. Then I want this sentence to have a higher importance than the paragraph sentence. So I may make it bold or underlined, and I may increase the font a little bit just to increase the importance of the sentence in comparing to the paragraph next to it. So this sentence is called heading 1, which represents a big section inside the document. What if I want to split this big section into two smaller sections? I have to create heading 2, which has less importance than H1 and higher importance than any normal paragraph text. I will call heading 2 verse 1, which I will later remove the underline and maybe decrease the font a little bit to be bigger than the paragraph and less small than heading 1. Also, I will create verse 2, which will be also heading 2. Verse 2, yes, and I will do the same. You know what? We will use a more interesting way this time. We will use the format painter. We have to mark up the style that we want to copy, then click on format painter and go through the words that we wanted to have the same style. We will go through this tool again next tutorial, but I thought it might be interesting to show it to you now. So, what if I want to split again heading 2 into smaller sections? Then we have to create heading 3, which is called part A and part B. So for the heading 3 format, I think I'll just type that. Okay, for the heading 3 format, I think we will remove the bold, add underline, and then we will choose a lighter color than black to make it less important than any of the above heading. I will choose green. I'll apply the same on part B using the format painter. Should know how to use it now. And our job is done here. So what if I want to create another big section in my document? I would represent it by another heading 1. So I will just copy the format painter from the format painter and paste the format. Like that, I have created another heading 1. I can actually create a mini heading 1, but I cannot create a title or subtitle more than once. And if you fail in this mistake, it's a really big professional disaster. Moving to our last text type style, quotes. So we will just type some words of wisdom. Literally, we will type some words of wisdom. I'm horrible at spelling, so we will fix that. Yes, thank you. And we will try to push the below paragraph a little. You don't have to know this. I will discuss this in the next tutorial. Then I will center align this quote and maybe add some bold and increase the font a little. Also, I will make this a block quotes, so we do know that that is a quote. And I think our job is done here. So, why are we doing different text types for our document? Because if we want to be a professional users of Word Office, before starting any document, we have to preset how we want our different text types to look like. If we clicked on any text inside our document, the document will automatically assume that we're using a normal text type, which we as a professional users of Word Office do not want that to happen. We will be changing this starting from our title. First, we mark up the text that we want to add a preset style on. Then we choose from these boxes in our styles group. The box with the name title is our choice. After choosing the title as a preset style, whenever we click inside the text title, the document will refer to this text as our title. Next, we want to make this text our subtitle. As you can see, the document refers to this text automatically as normal, but we want to change this. We will search for a box inside Styles group that has a subtitle on it. We can observe an underline that appeared under our text and we don't want it. So we have to modify our text preset style to match our design. We can do that by first click on the small box under Styles group. A menu of different preset styles will appear. We will pick subtitle and then click on the drop down arrow next to it. Then we're going to modify the style to match our design. By clicking on modify command, a box will appear that has a different tools to reset the subtitle style. We will click on underline command to remove it. You might be wondering why we changed the style from here, not from the font group. Because simply we want to make a new style for the subtitle, not just change this text. If we clicked on any place inside the text, the document will refer to it as subtitle. We will do the same thing inside every text type in our document in an easier method. We will start with heading 1, but the presetted heading 1 is totally different than my designed style. It's kinda hard and time consuming to use modify command. So to fix this, click on the small box under styles group, choose heading 1 style, then click on the drop down arrow next to heading 1 style and apply the command update heading 1 to match my selection. That will update the presetted style heading 1 to look like my designed version, which we can observe in heading 1 box up there. The document will refer to this text as heading 1. We will do the same to the next heading 1 on the next page. Mark up the text, choose heading 1 as our style. We can easily create a new heading 1 in another place. All we have to do is to mark up the wanted text. Let me organize the layout a little. Then we will click mark up our text first, then we will click on heading 1 style. Perfect. Whenever we click inside the text, the document will refer to it as heading 1. So now we will go to fix our heading 2. My design version of heading 2, it's totally different from the presetted style. So we will go to heading 2, click on the drop down arrow and choose update heading 2 to match my selection. We can observe the change of the presetted style. We will apply heading 2 on the text verse 2. Same will happen in heading 3. We will go to part A text and mark it up. As you can see, the presetted style looks totally different than my design style. we will update heading 3 presetted style from update heading 3 to match my selection, then apply heading 3 style on the next heading 3, which is part B. Our last text type is quotes. Mark up the text, go to quotes, then click on update quote to match my selection. We won't see any box with quotes in it in our styles group unless we clicked in this drop down arrow. I think we found it. Finally, we want to add one more quote, so we will mark up the wanted text, go to styles group, click on the drop down arrow and choose quotes as my presetted style. And done. That was all for this tutorial. I know it has been a long and a hard tutorial, but I hope you fully understand it. In the next tutorial, we will be using and explaining styling tools and commands. Have a magnificent day.